Thanks for staying with us. We're still reviewing Punch. Any other story? Yes.
Yeah, I took the Olubadan of Ibadan land, and the former governor of Oyo State, High Chief Rashidi Lajoja, has challenged the competence of the Otun Balogun of Ibadan land. For him, he spoke about the medical fitness of the new designate, the new Olubadan designate. He said he didn't have the right to, or the competence to say that. Apparently, he had said he's not medically fit, and he can't take the throne. So he says he has no rights and he doesn't have the competence, and that they will continue with the ceremony on Friday. It was supposed to be today, but because of the holiday, and that they will continue with the ceremony. He said. He spoke through his special advisor on media, Suleiman Olanrewaju.
Right.
And
all right.
He said the guy is 80. Are we expecting him to be like a 20-year-old or a 60-year-old? That is 80, so they should just
allow him with the president. All right, so I was going to take the power sector story. The federal government has raised the amount that it would save this year following the recent hike in the electricity tariff for Band A customers. 1.5 trillion naira is expected and projected to raise. We are still waiting for our first bill. We have not gotten the first bill yet. It also stated that 2.5 million meters will be installed this year in the bid to bridge the metering gap across the country to ensure consumers pay the right amount for electricity. Many of those who have been given the estimated bill have been complaining that they need those meters. So, according to the special advisor to the president on information, Bayo Ononuga stated that the move by the government to withdraw electricity subsidy from 15% of power sub-consumers in Nigeria would save the government 1.1 trillion naira annually. Ononuga also said that the president's administration was poised to allow the price hike in electricity given its 450 billion naira budget for energy subsidies in 2024.
Excuse me, so when they don't give us these 20 hours, we will still be buying diesel. We'll be paying high rates.
Are you in Band A, first of all?
Shine is in Band A. Shine has been in Band A since they have been giving us bill that's been knocking our head. Now they want to, and they don't give us 20 hours.
But your issue, like, you don't have a meter. You need a meter. So hopefully you get...
We have a meter.
But it's
you used to get...
But they don't give us... They won't give us a... Prepaid. Because if we are prepaid, everybody can... But this one, they just come. Give us the
estimated bill.
Hey. No, we have to bring our guests to come and talk about this.
We have to, because I don't
think this is right.
I mean, if you are giving us 20 hours and we don't have to buy diesel, fine.
Fair enough.
Yes.
But when you are not giving us that 20 hours and you are charging us for the 20 hours, come on.
And Tiani, come and patronize. We want to say we have entered business of solar panel, because in this economy now, everybody must enter business.
Any of that? Should we move on from point?
I have a story, a very serious story.
Solar
I've just marketed solar panel to Tiani so that we're importing solar panel to land. Cash crunch has hit the CCB, Code of Conduct Bureau. So the challenge is that the Code of Conduct Bureau, according to the state chapter, the 36 states have not gotten funded in the past 7 months. So they have their salary, but they are not giving the funds to do their work. So they become like a toothless bulldog, according to the findings of Punch. Punch said they reached out to the spokesperson for the Code of Conduct Bureau. The person said he's not aware that everybody's been getting their money. That's what according to his name is Kato. I'm trying to get his first name, but I can't find his first name. But they refer to him as Kato, and he said that because yesterday was public holiday, he can't get the numbers, but he knows that all of them have been getting funded. However, in the budget for 2023, they gave what was allocated to Code of Conduct Bureau was 2 billion, and what Code of Conduct Bureau is asking for 2024 is over 15 billion. So there is obviously a lack of funding going on. The over 1,000 states, governors, deputy governors, all the top high-ranking workers in states submit their Code of Conduct form. But the Code of Conduct Bureau, they say they are struggling to even pay electricity bill. They can't fuel their car because they do not have any allowance. They can't pay cleaners. They can't pay water bills. And so they can't even do the work they are meant to do, which is to checkmate and investigate the forms that they have received since last year, that they haven't worked on it. In some cases, some of the properties are not even in Nigeria. They can't even go about processing it or out of the state where they are working. So, and the idea of the Code of a particular person, Kako, the Center for Accountability and Open Leadership, Debo Adediran, said that the anti-corruption agencies have constantly been underfunded, which is part of the problem to help to make them ineffective. So it's just a figurehead, and we can do much better.
Got to move on now to Daily Sun. Chibok parents renew moves for rescue of abducted daughters. Makinde Ladoja breaks silence on controversy surrounding Olubadan designate. Air Peace sparks price war on London-Lagos. 5 die in Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, 3rd Million Bridge crashes. That was really sad story with Wake took earlier. Idil Fitri, love Nigeria, defend her integrity, says Tinubu. Customs slashes import duty rates to 1,238 naira to the dollar. Nollywood actor Junior Pope, earlier rumored dead, is alive. Nigeria recalls children's cough syrup over toxic substance. And passport, FG explores means to offset over 10 billion naira debt. Okay, which story are we taking, son?
The National Agency for Food and Drug, NAFDAC, are recalling a batch of Johnson & Johnson children's cough syrup because they were finding an unacceptably high level of potentially fatal toxic substance in it. They had laboratory tests.
Go ahead.
It's a big brand.
It's a big brand. It's called Benelin Pediatrics. So, and it's for children. So please, everyone, take note. Do not. They have recalled it. They are testing it, and they will let us know if it is okay for human consumption. They tried it on in the laboratory with animals, and they had this high toxicity.
Wow.
So of the level of diethylene glycol.
Okay. All right. Daily Sun. I was going to take the story. I thought the Nigerian Customs Service exchange rate for clearance of goods import duties assessment has dropped from 1,246 to 1,238. That's not much. But at least according to the dollar exchanges caused that. So this indicates the decrease of 6.14% in the last 48 hours. The official market rate of the naira to the dollar is now higher than the customs exchange rate of 1,200 naira, 248 naira. The naira strengthening over the previous few weeks is reflected in the customs exchange rates steady decline. It also showed how the CBN's reforms implemented since the year's commencement have affected the value of the naira on the foreign exchange market. So this will be good news for those who are importing into the country. So
yeah,
that's good news for them.
It is actually, because I remember that a few days back I was trying to help somebody get a car.
Yeah.
And the price of the car was like, for Mozu. And the person was like, oh my, it's a custom bani.
Yes,
so
for clearance.
I think for clearance. So
yes.
I think it's a good one at least.
Okay. All right, let's move on now.
I want to take the story about River State. The governor of River State, Similaye Fubara, has said that there's a stark reality of about 75% of primary schools in the state not having teachers. Said 90% of such schools are dilapidated condition. So he said he became aware of the deplorable state of the schools within River State when the new firm, New Global, in its partnership with the administration, did like an audit and field assessments of personnel that they intend to train, and they found out that 75% of the schools didn't have teachers, very dilapidated schools already. So obviously people are not even in those schools. He has assured that his administration will be focusing on education, health and agriculture, and ensure there's a change within those systems. I think the previous administration did a lot for infrastructure, so this can then focus on education. And then he also broke down how he was going to go about it, that he will put some money into education, but it's not really education, that they will renovate the school and call people for commissioning. It feels like any fund going to education should be going towards personnel and not just fixing the buildings alone. So I'm looking forward to the citizens of River State getting Fubara to do the work.
Okay. Vanguard. Tariff hike, 20-hour supply for Band A customers under threat.
I wanted to read that story.
Third cut. Air Peace chair Onyema slams foreign airlines over conspiracy. PDP NEC meeting. Governors, others renew battle for party's soul. Transfer of pension money out of Nigeria escalates. Edo Guba, my impeachment won't stand, says Shebu. Alleged defamation. Better Edo threatens to sue BBC. No cause for alarm on next Olubadan, says Makinde. And yeah, which story?
I have the alleged defamation of Beta Edu threatens to sue BBC. And this one says that the suspended Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation, Dr. Beta Edu, has threatened to file a lawsuit against the British Broadcasting Corporation, BBC, for defaming her personality. Edu disclosed this in a letter sent to BBC Abuja and London offices by her counsel, Chikaosolu Ojuku-san. According to the letter, the suspended minister claimed BBC reported that 30 billion naira was retrieved from her account from her on the ongoing probe by the EFCC. The lawyer alleged that the publication, which he described as false, had dented the reputation of his client. And also he said our client has suffered immeasurable reputational damage, psychological trauma, and anguish as a direct consequence of the publication and dissemination of the article the letter read. So I think this one for me is just that by the time we engage in illegal activities, there is no telling to the outcome of how people can stretch and extend the stories.
And media entities must just be careful in certain things.
So if there are allegations of defamation by the BBC, I think I would also support her because we need to be careful about the information that we disseminate to the public because it never leaves our head. And that's what we carry on everywhere. And that BBC said, this said, that said. Yeah. So I think
we have to run any other story in Vanguard.
The Airpeace, the MD, chairman of Airpeace, has said that the foreign airlines are trying to undermine Airpeace because, you know, they came down and slashed their prices. So they have come down to even slash it even further. And he says, if you take a full plane and you put some people on the wings, at that $350 or $100, you won't cover your cost. So what they're trying to do is slide him out of business, and then they will now go back. And that if we fall for it, it will be 20 times. When they come back, they will come back. You know, when you go...
They will recover all the money they've lost.
Well, you know, when you go, you know, like catapult. When you catapult, like when it comes, that's how they will, they will do for us. So he's just imploring everyone, especially the government, even though the government
let's be patriotic.
Let's be patriotic. And I will use this opportunity to say, if you are traveling, please book Airpeace.
You will eat.
I'm not Airpeace, but
we have all been publicized saying it as
Morale even emphasized yesterday that even if it gets expensive.
But that was before we knew that the other airlines are going to.
They've been trying to.
You know, he said that when they take off in time here. He says when they get to Gatwick, when they want to come back, say the carousel will not be working, this will not be working.
They don't treat us well. They don't give us a night.
They will keep them on the queue for hours so that the flights always take off late. So when you keep on taking off late, like that's how they will just say, no, your flight is always late. You know, so they are doing everything to sabotage
their efforts.
And I have to praise, even though I don't like praising government people, Festus Kuyamo is standing up to the plate. He's standing up to, no, seriously.
They try.
Because, you know...
Okay, were you there? You're acting as if you're in the meeting.
I'm
Festus. Like when you like something, you just show your body or your blood.
I love the thing.
Yes, that's why.
How much is given?
No, they said, they are supposed to give when your flight is new to the airport. When you land, they are supposed to celebrate you. Hey, welcome.
They didn't celebrate us.
They didn't celebrate it. So Festus Keyamo stood up. Why? They now celebrate it. They just say, medicine after death. That's why you giving us, he tried to be gracious, but you could see.
I'm going to cut out this Festus Keyamo clip from you, and I'm going to post it just to remind YK that YK finally government. Finally, after 63 years.
I will always, if you
do
are
well,
good, I will say it.
Okay, no problem.
If you are bad, I will still say it.
Anyways.
I like that. They're supporting Airpeace. I like that Airpeace is doing. They need to be doing the American routes. We need to come back to our own. We need to.
Yes.
That's the only way.
Okay, YK, that's what you can
it's
say.
the only way.
On front page review. Me, I bought my Airpeace ticket already. I'm going to go and post it. I've bought my August. I'm traveling wherever it is.
I bought my
wherever you take me, just take me. As long as it's Airpeace.
Paining me. It's biting my bum.
All right, let's go on a short break. When we come back, we continue with the show. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.